What's up, everybody? I'm a little early, but it's Friday. I figured I'd, get a little jam in before I get into the subjects. How's it going? It's Friday. What up? I hope you guys had a wonderful week. Wow, lots of crazy stuff has been emerging fraud-wise. I don't want my channel to instantly get fact-checked, although I have a feeling I'm already fact-checked. Chat, am I fact-checked already? Fact-checked. Fact-checked. It's hard to say that really quickly without sounding like you're missing a couple letters there. But yeah, I'm curious to see if I've been fact-checked already. I mean, who knows, right? So I'm back with this beautiful thing. You guys know her as Eve. This is my my Martin guitar that I just love this thing. My electric is fun, but it's more fun to play around with. I haven't written any songs for the electric yet. It's its own beast, you know. It's beautiful. I got this awesome amp that I'm using here, but I don't know. As far as performing, I feel much more comfortable with an acoustic because you can, it's right here with me, and you can hear it from here. So anyway, I'm not. All right, thank you, chat. Chat's letting me know that I have yet to be fact checked by YouTube's to let everyone know that AP has called the election. Even though I constantly say it doesn't matter to me what AP says about the election because they are a news source. My goodness. So I found this song in I was going through my old books, and it's called My Sunshine, and it's kind of a love song that I wrote, and I really like it, and I haven't actually played it yet. I just saw it. I was like, what should I play that these people, no one's heard before? And actually, this is the original. Right, this page is Melancholy Hellhound. This is when I wrote it. It's all scribbled out and crossed over, and a bunch of stuff rewritten. So it's kind of cool. First line is, "I don't want your money." I don't need your money. Well, I don't need your money. I don't know if that's what I say. I think I say, "I don't want your money." But anyway, that's pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to play My Sunshine before we start. So this is an exclusive. I don't actually remember exactly how to play it. Maybe I should have figured that out before I bust this out. I'm a professional musician, I swear. No, that's a lie. I'm not. Who am I kidding? I'm not professional at all. Let me turn this fan on. It's a little hotter in here than I expected it to be. All right, listen. So what we're going to be talking about today, all right, when I get to the subjects eventually, is the House of Representatives actually passed a bill today, fairly overwhelmingly, to legalize federal marijuana. That's pretty huge. Now, it has to go through the Senate now. But we'll see. I mean, and I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm going to be talking about Dominion software a lot. Dig into Dominion. It's really crazy things that are going on with that. They're denying that it goes online. We're proving that it can go online. All these whistleblowers. Then I want to talk about China for a little bit. They're doing a few different things. And when I say China, really what I mean is the CCP, right? Because it's the CCP that's doing these things. It's not China per se. They don't really have a control over what the government does. I hope we never end up there. But then I want to talk about Section 230 also, and a bill that was put forward in 2011 and 2012. It was the Smid-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012. And I think a lot of issues have spawned from this act, all right? And I've talked about this before, but there's this whole push to reform 230 or even just repeal it completely. I think it needs reform. Many people think it should just be getting rid of. Tim and I talked about this months ago. I asked him, I was like, what needs change? And he said repeal he didn't say repeal. He said reform Section 230, which is protections for basically big tech. And it's literally just a bill we wrote to protect them from being sued. Essentially, that's what it is. So we're going to talk about that because the president is calling for them to get rid of it. Yeah, I was going to play the song, but I don't remember how to play it. Oh, here's a list of songs. I'm going to read them out. Let's see. Taking It Back. I actually haven't played that one in a long time. Easy to Be. I don't even know. I think I've played that maybe once or twice. My Sunshine, which I just said, I actually don't really remember how to play it. Justice is Dead. Concrete Waves. A Train Song, which is actually, no, I don't sing at all. I just, it's just an instrumental. She's Just. Torn Photographs. Dance to Chicago. And When Will She Learn? Interesting. And Walking With You, and Melancholy Hellhound, Find Yourself, A Love Stories Remains. Wow, I got a pretty good, if I had to pick, if you had to pick one, what would it be out of all those? I'm watching the chat right now, so we'll see. I'm going to play a little ditty. Let's see. Why is everyone talking about Tim? You guys are harsh on Tim, Honestly, I owe a lot to Tim. I really appreciate Tim and what he's given to me. You guys, he does a good job of bringing the news to people. It's like, his opinion aside, it's like you can be mad about an opinion, but people need to have thicker skin. All of you should have thicker skin. Come on. Tim has a really good job, a good way of bringing the news to you. It's like, he rides the fence because he doesn't want to seem biased. Of course, bias will always shine through, but all this hate is come on, you gotta. Anyway, whatever. You guys can think what you want. I'm not trying to tell you how to feel or act yourselves, but I owe a lot to him, so I always give thanks. Now let's see here. I'm seeing all these. Let's see. If Justice is Dead. I'm going to play that song. It's very chill. Not a lot of words, but I don't know. A lot of other people are put in... you might have heard me actually play this song before, but I'm going to play it real quick. This is actually really an electric guitar song. If justice is dead, then it's worth liberating. If justice is dead, then it's worth liberating. And these are my thoughts for you. And these are my thoughts for you. All right, that was If Justice is Dead. It's interesting too because a lot of people have been asking me, "Hey, if justice is dead, is it worth liberating?" Now that song I wrote, oh my goodness, I wrote with a friend of mine, Tony D'Angelo. Shout out to Tony if you're listening. Great songwriter. We wrote a lot of songs together. And yeah, that was it's fitting, isn't it? If justice is dead, it does. I mean, if this fraud goes through, right? If justice is truly dead, is it worth liberating? That's what the Boston Tea Party was essentially. You know, they tossed the tea out into, you know, they were like, forget this. We're not doing this anymore. You know, no taxation without representation. It's like, are we getting our representation if they're altering our votes, adding in fake votes, you know, all this crazy stuff? So I don't know. It's pretty insane. So yeah, hey, thanks to everybody for super chatting already. There's a lot of super chats rolling in already. I mean, I appreciate that. That's great. I'm gonna get to those after the show. But before I do, I just want to say you can tune in to my website and check out all the videos that they all get automatically uploaded here. It's pretty sweet. Thanks to Nisha. She set this all up for me. Everything, you know, from you can check out my interviews, my deep dives, my original music, skateboarding, all sorts of different things. You can also donate to me directly on my PayPal account, Bitcoin wallet, but also a physical P.O. box that you can send me stuff. P.O. Box 68, Brunswick, Maryland, 21716. I appreciate you all for that. And many people have sent me really cool things. A few things have actually made it onto the shelf. I have some more shelves that you actually can't see yet. But I'm gonna have a room camera. I have a guest camera, and you know it's gonna show off all these different things. So yeah, before that, well, that's basically it. Look, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Give me a second. I just needed to take a sip of water there. Please do subscribe below. Whoa, the UFO just wonked out on me. I should do something about that. Yeah, and if you hit the notification bell, maybe it'll tell you when I go live or not. I don't know. I hear there's rumors that says YouTube doesn't do that for me anymore. But here's to all of you for hanging out. And I will... Nani, I see you right there. Nani is one of my Discord users hanging out in my Discord. And I will play A Love Stories Remains tonight after I do my my segments for you. And cool. Yeah, so the UFO's back. Subscribe if you haven't. Smash that like button. Smash! I don't know if you could see, my like button behind me is in a constant state of smash. And actually, even better, so this is my computer station, right? But most of the time I'm on this computer screen because it's my widescreen. And actually, I don't know if you remember this. This here like button. So I have it as like my feet cushion. And I'm constantly... literally smashing the like button all the time. It's satisfying, needless to say. All right, now that the like button has been smashed, I do appreciate that, so thank you very much. Let's get into the news of the day. Today, first and foremost, the House passes bill to decriminalize marijuana. Faces long odds in the Senate, though, of course. But let's read about it. The House voted today to decriminalize marijuana at a federal level, become the first chamber of Congress to do so, though Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell has indicated he's unlikely to take up the bill in the upper chamber. Come on, Mitch. Of all things, this I can get behind. I think this is very important. The House passed the bill called the MORE Act, largely along party lines. 228 to 164. That's a pretty hefty win, if I do say so myself. In addition to removing marijuana from the list of federally controlled substances, it would expunge some prior criminal records for marijuana possession and provide funding to help communities impacted by the war on drugs. Again, I don't see anything wrong with this. This is pretty legit. You know, ending the war on drugs. That's really crucial, I think. We need to, you know, learn from these kind of things. And man, the benefits of marijuana. Now, I'm not talking to even smoking it, you know. We can make clothes from the plant. We can make medicines from the plant. You know, we can replace... we can make paper out of the plant, you know. So we can... And it grows very well. It's a weed. So it grows plentifully. So we can actually use that and grow that and replace so many different things. Whereas knocking down paper or, trees is, I don't know, part of the reason why it was made illegal in the first place, reefer madness back in the day. I don't know if you know much about it, but me and Ian talked about this on my show right in the beginning stages of the show. I don't even remember when we talked about that. But yeah. So let's keep reading about this. Yeah. So Jerry Nadler, all right, and Matt Gaetz, two people that I wouldn't have expected on the same bill, introduced the bill saying the government should not treat marijuana as a criminal justice problem. And I agree 100%. I have long believed that the criminalization of marijuana has been a mistake, and the racially disparate enforcement of marijuana laws only has compounded this mistake with serious consequences, particularly for communities of color, Nadler said in a statement before Friday's vote. McConnell, though, criticized House Democrats for taking up the issue as Congress attempts to come to an agreement on a new round of COVID-19 relief. The House of Representatives is spending this week on pressing issues like marijuana, serious and important legislative befitting this national crisis, he said. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's true. Especially when we have, I don't know if you saw this, but today, Nancy Pelosi came out saying, yeah, I did hold back the bill. So she openly admitted that she was she was holding back the COVID relief because it didn't fit her needs. Not the American people's needs. She was like, it wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. I made a choice to hold it back. And it's like, oh my gosh. So you're admitting it. And now finally they're making moves to legalize marijuana. I mean, it's like, okay, it's hard to be angry at this because I actually agree with this. I do think this should be legalized. And then you have, actually, check this out. I pulled this up. Oregon became the first state to decriminalize hard drugs like cocaine and heroin. That's right. You heard it. They decriminalized cocaine and heroin in Oregon. And that blows me away. But the libertarian in me is going, well, I mean, maybe we should, get help to these people. Because there's a reason people lean into doing drugs and get addicted to doing drugs. It's because they're incomplete. Maybe I'm jumping to an assumption here, and I could be wrong. I'll fully admit it, but this is just me analyzing from a distance. I look at it and I go, what is the reason someone feels the need to drink? Is it because they're not satisfied? Like I enjoy whiskey myself, and I'm very happy in my life. So it's not like I'm filling a hole or covering up a pain, that I'm trying to drink away. I enjoy it. It's tastes delicious, and but when it becomes an issue, is it something to be criminalized, or is it something to be to get help about? Someone needs help if they're addicted to it. If they do run into a problem where it becomes an issue where the rest of their life is now being damaged by their consumption of said drug, insert whatever you want, because anything could become a problem. Drinking coffee could become a problem. Prescription drugs could become a problem. Sex can become a problem. There's many different things that could become a problem, but regulated / moderated on a personal level is really what I'm talking about. As long as if you're recognizing it, there shouldn't be any issues. So this kind of stuff, it's like the government's telling us what we can or cannot do, and that's something that I talked about on my show the other day. It's like the Constitution is there to tell the government what they can do, not tell us what we can do. And they're like slowly shifting it around to make it so that they're telling us what to do, right? That's not okay. We the people. All right, the government, you're supposed to be small and handle certain things, but we, the people, decide. Not you, the government, decide what we, the people, get to do. And it's a blurring line. The war on drugs has been going on for a long time. Since Nixon and the whole '60s hippie craze, and a lot of people. It almost, if you think about society as a whole, right? We no longer farm for ourselves, which 150 years ago, most people had a farm and they traded what they, farmed to other people's farms that might have done different things, and then it was really community. And now over the past 150 years, we've turned into a society where we're required to buy food at a store instead of make it yourself or grow it yourself or raise it yourself, whatever you consume. It doesn't matter. We've gotten to a place where we can do drugs, because we don't need to spend the day, on the fields raising cattle or raising wheat or rice or whatever you want to grow, because that's really what life's about, is making sure you have a roof over your head and food on the table. And those things are basically taken care of in our society, which is why I have issues with a lot of these people that think society's all wrong and that it's a bad place. And it's like, you're taking into account that we have all these amazing things now, right? That we can spend our days doing other things, which I would prefer most people be working towards, enlightening their minds and the future of human society, which is why I love space and all that. But it's become this culture of me, let me do what I want to do. It's everyone's selfish in a sense. And now it's weird because it's this gray area, because I do believe in individual rights and I want people to be able to do what they want to do. But it's almost going to the extreme. Do you know what I mean? There's like this extreme on the other side of it where they're getting so comfortable, they're getting so complacent, and they don't have anyone to blame anymore. They still have to do work, but we don't have to physically do all the work, so we're not actually getting this tangible validation for life in general, and people are seeking it because they're not getting it anymore. And because all these normal things, what's normal now, are being taken care of for us, people tend to get bored in life because, they think that, there's something lacking in their lives. And it's purpose. And without purpose, you kind of end up being lost. And I feel a lot of people turn to drugs. Okay. And, I'm just running through this, my mind as far as like how I feel about this whole thing. Cause I do feel like, especially weed, like I don't think it should be illegal. Colorado made it legal and they made millions and millions of dollars and pumped it into their school systems and pumped it into their parks and pumped it into the state, and they've made a lot of money. And then all of a sudden all these other states are like, oh, that's some good amount of money, actually. Maybe we should get into that. And then, of course, now it's this domino effect throughout the states. And, of course, now it's going to the House and has passed through the House. So it could go to the Senate. It could be federally legal soonish. I don't know. Now, it's the United States, so the states themselves still have to, or make the rules for each individual state. That's why it's legal in some states and federally illegal still. So it's kind of a weird zone. But, ending the war on drugs is huge. People are, I don't know. I think it does disparage certain classes. All right. I don't think it's a race thing, more as a class thing, because rich people do drugs. You come on. Rich people are doing drugs too. They just pay someone to go get it for them and do all the risk. Where people of a lower class, doesn't matter what race you are, if you're a lower class and you want to do drugs, you're going to find them. It might not be as easy or as safe, but anyone is going to get out there and do it. So this whole Oregon thing, I haven't looked too deeply into it, but they decriminalized hard drugs. Let's look into it. It was a nationwide push to relax drug laws took a significant step forward Tuesday as voters made Oregon the first state to decriminalize the possession of small amounts of street drugs such as cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine. And meth, too? That's ridiculous. Meanwhile, 5 more states legalized marijuana for adults. The drug measures were among 120 proposed state laws and constitutional amendments that were on the ballot in 32 states. They touched on an array of issues that have roiled politics in recent years: voting rights, racial inequality, abortion, taxes and education, to name a few. Well, that bounced around a lot, but none directly dealt with the dominant theme of 2020, the coronavirus pandemic. That's because the process to put measures on the ballot began in most cases before the virus surged to the forefront. I mean, that is a whole other conversation, to be honest, but my goodness. The Oregon Drug Initiative will allow people arrested with small amounts of hard drugs to avoid going to jail and possible jail time by paying a $100 fine and attending an addiction recovery program. The treatment centers will be funded by revenues of legalized marijuana, which was approved in Oregon several years ago. All right, so that's kind of that right there is a socialist program, I believe. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. I think that's right. Because they're selling, the marijuana, and then the proceeds that they're getting, which is taxes essentially, they're pumping back into the system to help people recover if they are addicted to hard drugs. It's hard to argue with these kind of socialist programs because we do have socialist programs, Social Security, for example, Medicare, and this is a key example. It's like, you know what? To help our citizens better off, that sounds good to me. I don't want to alienate anyone. We have to come up with programs that'll help our homeless, that'll help our veterans that went and fought for us and then come back and get cut off from, getting benefits when they might have PTSD from some crazy events that they were essentially forced to go do. I mean, I don't agree with all the wars that we've been in. Do you? I mean, these vets don't have a choice. Now they're back and then they get cut off. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be looked at. But there's certain things that I won't mind my tax dollars help going to, and it's like helping fellow American citizens that want help that deserve help. I don't know if you would agree that some of these people that got hooked on hard drugs deserve help. Maybe they don't. But the fact that instead of getting arrested and being a criminal for their life, being put in, which costs money also. It's like if that money were to be spent on trying to rehab these people, good. That the whole crime bill that Joe Biden put forward in 1994 made it so that criminals, however you became a criminal, if you were put in the system, you weren't allowed to get further education. That is ridiculous to me. That blows me away that was something that was passed. Oh, if you get put in the system, you're marked and you can't actually get an education while you're in the system. Before, you can actually go to school, you can follow school programs, further your education, finish up, and come out of the system better off than when you went in, which is how it should be, okay? So ending the war on drugs, making it so that, people who have, small misdemeanors based on marijuana crimes, that it's like, okay, now a lot of arguments, there might be people in chat that are talking about this, but a lot of misdemeanors that have to do with marijuana, people that got in trouble with it might have been reduced from greater crimes that involved other things. They were reduced. So then under this new law, it might be considered, you see what I'm saying? How, some of these people, and I think it should be a case-by-case basis. It shouldn't just be like everyone that had this level of law, misdemeanor and below should just be released. I feel like it's a tough situation. When you change a law that makes all these things legal when they were illegal. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just looking at it from afar. So we're only going to see if it passes in the Senate. Mitch McConnell seems like he's going to be like, that's a big no. But we'll see. I don't know. All right, so that's that. Next, I want to talk about Dominion voting machines. Have you heard about Dominion voting machines? Yeah, I have, and it's been on my mind a lot. Here we've got Dominion voting machines were updated before the election. Georgia officials confirms. So they were updated before the election. All right, now, in this article, I'm not going to read through this whole article, but I've read it, and it basically is saying that the Dominion is going, yeah, we updated, but it was a flaw that was 1 in a million, and it was updated, long before the election, and we fixed it. But it doesn't matter. They were altered weeks before the election. Okay, that's the key point here, especially when we have a district judge that halts 3 Georgia counties from erasing Dominion machine data. So after the election, so they altered these Dominion software voting machines before the election. Okay, they admitted that they did it. They're claiming that it was nothing. It was something that needed to be fixed because of blah 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 blah. And now they're saying, oh, there was some sort of error. We need to purge all of the Dominion systems to reset them so they'll work properly. And now a judge is saying that they're halting it. Now, I talk about what a red flag is. You know, red flags that you when you notice, you're like, okay, you got to pay attention to red flags. Okay, you got to pay attention to those because they're pretty significant when it happens. Now, on this, Dominion made a statement. All right, and it's election 2020, setting the record straight. All right, statements from Dominion on Sidney Powell's charges, which she's basically alleging all these crazy things that seems crazy. But when you look into the evidence of what she's presenting, it's not so far-fetched. Now, in here, they're saying we never had anything to do with, Venezuela, Hugo Chavez. But here, listen to the first thing that they said. Dominion was not founded by oligarchs and dictators. It was founded in Toronto, Canada, and is now a proud, nonpartisan American company. That was founded in Toronto. Wait a minute. So you're saying it was proudly found? Sorry, it was founded proudly in Toronto, Canada, but we're an American company. So woo, good for you, Dominion. Yeah. So what about the UBS softwares that is partly owned, 75% owned by Chinese companies, run by the CCP, purchased stock in Dominion software months ago? What about that, Dominion? I noticed that you didn't bring that into your, and never through this entire statement did they have anything to say about how Dominion could be linked to online. Now they were saying that they never go online. Here we go. Servers that run Dominion softwares are located in local election offices, and data never leaves the control of the local election officials. So are they trying to say that it never goes online? Because I have multiple things saying that it goes online. This is from NBC in January. Online and vulnerable, experts find nearly 36 U.S. voting systems connected to the internet. And this is from January 10th, 2020. Wow. It's funny how crazy the news can change and what they report on once it depending on the narrative that it fits. Of course, it goes all the way back to talking about the 2016 election. But really what I want to just show is Dominion. Here we go. The three largest voting manufacturing companies, election systems and software, Dominion Voting Systems, and Hart InterCivic have acknowledged they all put modems in their tabulators and scanners. The reason, they say, so that unofficial election results can be more quickly be relayed to the public. Those modems connect to cell phone networks, which in turn are connected to the internet. So they are connected to the internet. So people can connect to them. All right, that's an issue. That is a problem. Now, look, this is from Arizona Republican Party. This is during a hearing.
That I understood.
Listen to this.
To mean that the voting system was separated from the world by an air gap, that they're not connected to the internet. What I thought I heard you say is that you were able to contact Dominion, they were able to fix the problem.
So did you hear that? He's like, I thought that the systems were not connected to the internet. That's what we've been told. Okay?
That indicates to me that somehow they're able to communicate with the device that you have.
Yes, sir.
And now that's what they were saying couldn't happen. No one could manipulate the system. It was a closed system. Everything's good.
They were. And to give you an example, the way I am not a tech person, but the best way I can explain it to you is when something happens with my phone that I have an iPhone, or something happens with my Apple computer where I need additional assistance with that. I call up Apple and I say, this is what's happening. And they say, do I have permission to take over your computer? And of course, I give them the permission.
Of course, I give them the permission
because I want it fixed. That was the exact same thing. I had to give them permission to take over my poll pad so that they could reprogram it from Adams Park.
So they can reprogram the voting machine that she was working on
To SSO2 A and B, which is at West Spalding Drive Elementary.
There you have it. All right. So this woman basically said, I called them up because there was an error. They from theirs, whatever, I gave them permission to dig into it and fix it, and they did. Just like how I can't understand my iPhone. Why can't I read these messages? Somebody fix it for me. It's like a hacker out there is just going, yes, got it. So if they can access it, guess who else can access it? Any hacker worth their stuff can handle that. All right, I'm not a hacker myself, but I know some people that know some people that, I mean, if hackers want to get into your system, I bet they can do it. All right, especially if these guys can just call them up and say, oh yeah, you have permission to get in here and reprogram the system. Like what are you serious? If this is the case, how could we trust any of these systems? All right. I read another article last week, and I reported on it, that one of the Dominion guys was saying, yeah, I work at home, all right, and I was observing what was going on, and because of COVID, we were allowed to work at home and fix any issues. So he was probably the guy on the other side that she's referring to. Like, yeah, I called them up, and they came or they didn't come. They literally over the internet went and fixed it. So it's insane to think about. Now this is what I saw this and I was like, oh man. All right, so I saw this and I was like, man. So this is from the War Report. I don't know if you guys know Steve Bannon, but a lot of people are like, oh, he's compromised. But if this is true, they're claiming that the Trump team has a Dominion machine from a small Georgia county that shows the votes flipped from Trump to Biden. All right, and this is what I think that they were doing. Put in the USB a couple weeks before, altered the algorithms so that if Trump was winning, it would start, using this, you start working the system to flip the votes to Biden. Now they're purging the Dominion systems. They're literally purging the systems, claiming it's some error so that they need to, fix it. And the judge was like, you can't do that. This is evidence. We need to analyze these. And they were like, it's proprietary software. You can't get into it. Well, I mean, here we're seeing the Trump team is claiming that they have a Dominion machine that has been forensically analyzed, and it shows votes. Now, it was in a small county. All right. It was only 37 votes that they saw, but they saw them. They saw it. And doing the math, let me see where they did the math here. Here we go. According to Fredericks, there were 37 votes that flipped in this small Georgia county machine. That one machine. All right. However, this represents only 0.26. That's under 1%. 0.26% of Georgia ballots. When extrapolating to the entire state, this equates to more than 14,000 votes, and Georgia was stolen by only 10,000. Well, it was won by Biden, I do that in quotes, by only 10,000 votes. So if that's the case, if 0.2% of the votes for Biden were actually Trump votes, Trump has Georgia. And that's just from one of the situations, okay? Just the Dominion software, which now they're trying to wipe. But if they actually got one of these machines and they actually analyzed it and actually saw that, man. And now we have, what else is there? We saw the mysterious table yesterday. We talked about it on my show yesterday, and there's it's in my segments if you missed it. But they there's a video but actually there's multiple videos. One is a woman showing up at 8 a.m, brings a table in the middle of the room, business as usual all day, counting November 3rd, counting the votes. 10 p.m., everyone goes home, and 4 people stay late, including the one woman that brought that table there, pull suitcases out from under the table, and all of them start tabulating these votes with no witnesses at all, no challengers there, which in itself, I don't care if they're legal ballots or not. Why are they doing it with no challengers, no witnesses, after it's supposed to be closed down? All right, that alone is suspect, okay? Actually, I'm going to bring this up. Check this out. There is a spike of data, which it's a graph. It's essentially, it is literally that night. Here it is. This is that night. This is November, okay? Counting the votes. All right, all of a sudden, there was a massive spike, and that is between 1:19 a.m. and 1:36 a.m., there is a massive Biden spike just around the time they're tabulating those votes. Coincidence? Coincidence? I don't know. I don't think so. Nope. I don't think it is. Because it's not. This is, I actually posted that on Steven Crowder's video. This is the video I'm talking about, where it shows them bring this table here. All right, this is the table. I don't know if you can see it, but they then take all these suitcases from under it in the middle of the night. Why in the middle of the night? Why being shady, right? I don't know if you saw. Let me see if I can pull this up. There's this video of a USB handoff. I don't have it, but it's a USB handoff where supposedly the same woman who moved that table in, all right, was seen sneaking a USB, handing it over to someone else, and then doing this like looking around thing and shadily handling it to this other dude who did this like stretch while she slipped it into his pocket. It's so shady. Like, why is these things going down? How is it not being like everyone blowing it up? It just blows me away how this is going down like this. It's crazy. So, yeah, so that's that. All right, I want to move on. Next, I want to talk about China, what China's doing. They're doing some big moves. You know what they're doing? They're not worrying about video games. They're not worrying about sexual preferences. They're not worrying about who you identify as. You know what they're worried about? Taking over the world, becoming stronger, advancing their civilization. That's what the CCP is doing. I'm not talking, when I say China, I need to clarify it. I'm talking about the government, all right? What the government's doing, what they're forcing. Check this out. China is doing human testing to create super soldiers. Yeah, they're literally Hydra in Captain America, right? They're trying to make Captain China, all right? That not Captain America. They're trying to make a super serum to make super soldiers. Literally, that's what they're doing. China's soldiers are marching off to the battlefield and into the biology lab. Yep. Members of China's People's Liberation Army were subjected to science fiction style human testing to create biologically enhanced super soldiers, a top U.S. intelligence official said Friday. The Middle Kingdom is launching unethical military experiments that sound fit for superhero flick Captain America. John Radcliffe, the director of national intelligence, said in a Wall Street Journal op-ed, "There is no ethical boundaries to Beijing's pursuit of power," Radcliffe proclaims, citing U.S. intelligence. People's Republic of China poses the greatest threat to America today. I'm inclined to agree. The technologically ambitious country has been working to develop soldiers with biologically enhanced capabilities as part of a scheme to take over the planet economically, militarily, and technologically. They said this. It's like the great Chinese dream. I don't know exactly what it is, but Xi Jinping had a speech talking about how the globe would be better off under their rule, under their regime, because they know what's best. And they're doing it. They're fully in full steam ahead, taking over the world. While what are we doing? Squabbling over this election, squabbling over these people with supreme entitlement issues that don't understand what they have in this world because they never actually had to work to live. Because take society out for a second, drop you in the middle of the woods and you have to fend for yourself. Are you going to be able to handle yourself? Do you know what society has brought us? If not, check yourself, because it's crazy. Look at this. They're on the moon. China's new moon mission to return first lunar samples since 1976. I don't care if you believe if we went there or not. It doesn't matter. They're going. They've gone. They're on the other side of the moon. They're on the dark side of the moon. We don't know what they're doing, okay? They're over there, and we're not. They've figured out a way to communicate with their ships that were able to land on the other side of the moon, because we actually don't have direct radio transmissions to them. So it's very difficult to actually handle that kind of stuff. That's why when Apollo went to the dark side of the moon, they went dark, because we can't actually have direct communication with them. So look at this. They're going back to the moon. They're probably planning on getting to the moon. I had these space guys on the other day talking about how if they get there first, they're going to claim it as theirs. They didn't sign any of these accords that the moon isn't owned by anyone. China's like, ha ha ha, oh, that's funny. Well, we're going to get there and put our flag in it, and it's going to be ours. Look at this. China selects 18 new astronauts ahead of space station construction. They've got 3 space stations they're working on. 3, okay? They're working on moving into space, taking over everything. Okay, we're sitting here. What are we doing to our kids? Telling them that they don't have to be the gender that they don't want to be. It's like, what happened to you can be a doctor, you can be an astronaut, or even before that, it's like the kids themselves, like, I want to be, great. Now people are just like, I just want to be a different gender and I want things handed to me. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not knocking any of those people. I'm saying we have our priorities wrong, and who you are as a person is not what defines you, and that's an issue. Too many people do that. They're like, that's my everything. Okay, well, what do you want to do with your life? I don't want to talk about that. That offends me. I just want you to acknowledge who I am, and it's like, nobody cares who anybody is, all right? Even me. Like, I'm just one human being. Luckily, I have an amazing following that comes in and tunes in to hear what I have to say, but I had to earn it. If I made everything that I talk about who I am as a person, that would get old rather quickly, wouldn't it? I mean, it's my opinion on other things that I talk about, not just myself. If I only talk to myself, personally, I would get bored. One only has so much that they can talk about before it gets old. It's like, okay, I get it. I understand who you are. I don't care who your sexual preference is or what you identify as. That doesn't define you as like a person. Your character it doesn't show whether you're a respectful person or not, whether you're a trustworthy person or not, whether you're someone who participates in society and helps others if given the chance. These are the things that I respect in other people. Like, I have friends of all different shades, all different personalities and preferences, because it doesn't matter to me what those things are. It's the character of a person that makes it the person, okay? And that's what we need to cherish again. And when I look over here, there was a study that asked Chinese children, what do they want to grow? What do they want to do when they grow up? Most of the answers were scientist, astronaut, all these aspiring things, respectful positions. Ask American kids, they want to be YouTubers. They want to be influencers. They want to be famous. They want to be those 3 things, honestly. It doesn't matter what. Rearrange them in any way you want. And that's the truth. It's funny. I say this as I'm a YouTuber, but I was also a professional skateboarder. I taught skateboarding. I ran my own skate school. I was a successful model for many years. I don't want to be a YouTuber forever. I would love to move on to do other things. I would love to get into space. I will get into space. I'm serious. I will absolutely broadcast this show from space in the future. I'm telling you right now, you can take that clip and hold me to it, because I'm going to do it. Because I believe in myself and I'm confident in what I want in my life. And it's for greater things. And not only that, it's to help society. It's to help my fellow man. You know, I want to help everyone else. I want to help people understand the truth. And I get that feeling talking from my desk right here. I get that feeling like I'm helping all of you. And that's what we need to inspire. So like looking at what the CCP is doing, yes, they want to take over the globe. They've admitted it multiple times. They talk about it. But man, their kids are trying to be astronauts and scientists and further humanity. It's like, what are we doing? What happened to that American spirit of trying to be the best? You know, trying to be, you know, like we see competition and we're like, well, we got to win. What happened to that? Where's that feeling? Right? I haven't lost that. That's why everyone loves sports, because people love sports. People want to be better than the other person. That's why people are in love with sports. Am I wrong? I mean, maybe I could be wrong. Everything I'm saying could be wrong. Whatever. This is just my thoughts on it all. I don't know. Yeah, so that's that. That's what China's doing. Or excuse me, that's what the CCP is doing. We don't know what they're doing. But I do know that they want to take over. All right, I know that we're slacking. All right, let's talk about Section 230. Do you know what Section 230 is? I found a perfect article to sum it up perfectly. It's from May. What is Section 230 and why does Trump want to change it? Well, Forbes... Well, we'll see what Forbes has to say about it, right? Section 230 is part of the federal legislation passed more than 20 years ago. It runs only 26 words long, short and to the point, but it has had an outsized effect on life as we know it. There are the 26 words that created the internet, says Jeff Cossett, a cybersecurity law professor at U.S. Naval Academy and one of the foremost experts on Section 230. Most fundamentally, Section 230 provides immunity to social media companies like Facebook and Twitter against being sued over the content on their site. This allows them to operate and flourish without needing to moderate content. And yet, they do it anyway, don't they? Mm-hmm. Section 230 set the legal framework over the internet that we know today that relies heavily on user content rather than content that companies create. Without Section 230, companies would not be willing to take so many risks, Cossett says. President Trump now wants to change Section 230. He signed a new executive order on Thursday. This was, of course, back in May. That will try to curb how social media sites use the legislation to prevent legal action. We're here today to defend free speech from one of the greatest dangers it has faced in American history, he said in the Oval Office. Here's what Section 230 is and why Trump's proposal matters to anyone like you, someone reading these words online. All right, what is it exactly? And here it is. No provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. Okay. What does this mean in practice? It offers a broad shield to tech companies, protecting them from lawsuits over content generated by users on their sites. It gives Twitter and Facebook the right to moderate content, but does not give them the responsibilities to do so. Because content is posted on their platforms so rapidly, there's just no way they could possibly police everything, says Senator Ron Wyden, who helped create Section 230. Tech companies are not absolved from everything. They're still required to police some types of unlawful content, such as child pornography or bootleg movies. All right. You know what? Let's keep reading because it says, why was it created? In the 1990s, Stratton Oakmont, the brokerage founded by Jordan Belfort, yes, the guy who Leonardo DiCaprio portrayed in Wolf of Wall Street, sued an internet service provider, Prodigy Services, for defamation. Someone on a Prodigy-run message board had accused Stratton Oakmont of fraud. The New York State Supreme Court ruled that Prodigy had acted as a publisher and thus was liable for defamation. This case caught the attention of Wyden, then a congressman for Oregon, who worked with California Representative Chris Cox to include Section 230 as a protection for other internet businesses from lawsuits like Stratton Oakmont's in their Communications Decency Act of 1996. Section 230 was only a small portion of that broader legislation. The Communications Decency Act's broader purpose was to slow the spread of child pornography on the web. Okay. And good. could get rid of that stuff. The U.S. Supreme Court in a 7-2 decision struck down most of the act the following year, ruling that it too greatly restricted free speech, but the court kept Section 230. A lot of people will say that without Section 230, you wouldn't have had the rise of social media because they would have been sued into oblivion, says tech ethicist David Ryan Polger, a Forbes contributor. In essence, the act treats internet businesses very similar to how we treat the post office. Polger explains, there's misinformation all the time that people are sending through letters, but you don't blame the post office. They're merely a conduit. You know, it's interesting because so Twitter can't be held liable, and yet they still moderate everything. They still add fact checks on things. They still ban people constantly. I don't know if you were paying attention last night on my show. I had Karlin Borosenko on, and we were talking about L. All right, it's this heavy Twitter user, very vocal about fraud and exposing things on the internet, and she's very good at it. She gets into the nitty-gritty of we should, how to put this lightly, dark information, all right? And she digs it up, and she posts it on everywhere. They banned her. I even had, let me just bring it up. I said, hey, if you're listening, like, feel free to come on my show. She actually tweeted at me. She was like, awesome, anytime. Where is it? Here we go. Check this out. And, of course, it's unavailable. And she is suspended. Why is she suspended? I can only assume it's because she says the spiciest stuff and the stuff that they don't want people knowing. She was all about bringing up all the election fraud, bringing up all the stuff that is, spreading around, that CP stuff. It's like, it's gross. And she blasts people out. Like, who's actually doing it? Well, she got banned. And that's Twitter's choosing to be who's on their platform. And that's crazy. Check us out. Donald Trump. This is from today. All right. Oh, no, this is from a couple days ago. Yeah. So this is 3 days ago. Donald Trump tweeted, Section 230, which is a liability shielding gift from the U.S. to big tech. The only companies in America that have it, corporate welfare, is a serious threat to our national security and election integrity. Our country can never be safe and secure if we allow it to stand. Therefore, if the very dangerous and unfair Section 230 is not completely terminated as part of the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, I will be forced to unequivocally veto the bill when sent to the very beautiful Resolute desk. Take back America now. Thank you. Those are some bold words that he's putting out there. But he's right. Section 230 is a shield that they use so they can ban and moderate their site however they see fit. They can get rid of all the conservatives, all the people that go against the narrative that they clearly want to push, and without liability because they have Section 230, which they're using and taking advantage of. Okay, that's what they're doing. They're sitting behind it going, ha, 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 you can't stop us from getting rid of everybody that we want gotten rid of. And that's what's happening. Sure, it's a private platform, but one can argue that it's the new town square. Donald Trump is not allowed to ban anyone. He's not allowed to block anyone or mute anyone because they've ruled his tweets, because he's the president, is a forum, an open forum. It's like a town square. How is that different from what we use the internet now? Okay, why is not our free speech regulated protected from the internet? It should be. If I can say whatever I want legally, I could say, within reason, because you can't yell fire in a movie theater if there's no fire. That's illegal. Okay, so there's certain things that make sense that shouldn't be legal to do. If you do that, you're gonna freak everyone out, and everyone's gonna rush out. And if there's no fire, it's just, you're basically just an a-hole, honestly, in my opinion. But what I found interesting about this Section 230 is it's not just that. All right, I actually tweeted on this. I responded. Also this. I don't know if you know about this. H.R.5736. Okay, also known as Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012. I'm going to read this to you because this is crazy. All right, once you realize what this is. Amends the United States Information and Education Exchange Act of 1948 to authorize the Secretary of State and Broadcasting Board of Governors to provide for the preparation and dissemination of information intended for foreign audiences abroad about the United States, including about its people, its history, and federal government policies through press, publications, radio, motion pictures, the internet, and other informational media, including social media, through information centers and instructors. Under the current law, such authority is restricted to information disseminated abroad with a limited domestic exception. Okay, let me break that down for you. Okay, before that original one that was put into place, the Educational Exchange Act, we could send propaganda out to the rest of the world and tell them whatever we want. Okay, we can alter information and basically lie to the rest of the world if we want to. Okay, not that I agree with that. Okay, sending propaganda at all, I mean, whatever, it's all lies. But this changed back in 2012 is it gave them the right to use that same kind of system, spreading of misinformation, on the American public. So it was illegal to blast lies and spread lies. You know, what else changed in 2012? Tim and I did an episode talking about the increase of racial talk, inequality talk. I don't remember all the different graphs. There was like 20 different graphs that we went over, and it all started in 2012. So what is it? It's because of this right here, this bill, H.R. 5736. This needs to be repealed, okay? It is legal for people to propagandize American citizens. It's legal because of this. Fake news. Oh, fake news isn't real? It's not? Okay, so why is this in place? Why is there a bill saying it's legal to basically skew the information and not worry about it being completely accurate to the American public? And how do more people don't know about this? Because this is ridiculous. Okay? I want the truth. I want you deserve the truth. I mean, everybody on the globe deserves the truth, for being honest. But I'm just talking about America right now because that's where I live. That's where I was born. I'm American. I'm proud of it. I want America to be amazing. All right? I want to make America great again. This right here, this is the biggest proof to me that America isn't as great as it used to be, because now the powers that be can propagandize American citizens. I don't know if that's even a word, propagandize, but I like it and it works for the situation because that's what they're doing. Fake news is real. Make America great again. Get rid of this bill. Get rid of this act. Okay? President Trump, if you're listening to me, check this out. The Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012 allows, it's funny because in 2012, President Trump tweeted out, it's not who you vote for, it's who counts your vote. Interesting. So he knew some stuff was going down back then. And now we have it legal that they can just, spread propaganda. Well, check this out. Beijing-controlled news outlet paid U.S. newspapers millions to publish propaganda this year. Wow. So not only can American companies send propaganda into our airwaves in America, China is doing it too. They're paying our news outlets to send propaganda into our airwaves, all right? Our ears, news media everywhere, okay? This is the issue. If that wouldn't be legal, if anyone is allowed to do this, like how is this possible? How is it possible that China can do this? Huh? It doesn't make any sense. It all stems back to this bill. The Smith-Mundt Modernization Act needs to be repealed. This is ridiculous. Make America great again, baby. We need that. I've more and more leaned it. I used to be like more, make America greater. We can only be greater. Well, actually, It was pretty great until a lot of these things, and this is one of those bills that was put forward that made us weaker, okay? Has made us significantly weaker. This is basically a bill that was put into place saying we can now be brainwashed. Okay, we can now legally brainwash our population. It's crazy. Authorizes the secretary and the board to make available in the United States motion pictures, films, video, audio, and other materials prepared for dissemination abroad or disseminated abroad pursuant to such act, the United States International Broadcasting Act of 1994 and Radio Broadcasting of Cuba Act and Television Broadcasting to Cuba Act. This is back when they were worried that information that they were trying to give to the American public would get out to the other world, like Cuba, for example, like the Cold War. Well, we can't let them have any of this information, but we want the American public to be aware of what's going on. How do we figure that out? All right, well, we'll tell the rest of the world lies and tell the American people the truth. This basically said, you know what? Forget trying to make it complicated. Let's just lie to everybody and make it legal. That is ridiculous, and this is disrespectful to all of us as American citizens. We should be pissed that this is a thing. And I can't believe that the president, that he hasn't gone, we need to get rid of this. Because I hope he knows about it, because this is ridiculous. And we got to get rid of this. So, yeah, if you didn't know about it, now you do. And spread it around, because this is ridiculous. Okay? We got to get rid of this. We got to get rid of the ability for them to legally lie to us all. And that's what this is. All right? Okay, so it's past 7:30. I'm gonna get into some super chats now. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but that's all right. I'm gonna get into some super chats. Maybe play a song and play a Love Stories Remains. Good song. I really enjoy that one. Wimp Low says, "What more evidence do we need? This election was stolen by the corrupt Democratic Party. Bring everything into the sunlight for all to see. Praise the sun." You know what? Everyone keeps saying that it was stolen. He didn't win. All right, Biden didn't win this. AP might have been checking my video saying that they called the election, but I don't care. He didn't win yet. It's not over yet. Al Gore was president for 37 days. Well, guess what? He wasn't president then either. Okay? He was. They declared it, but Bush kept fighting. All right, and became president. Well, guess who's a fighter? President Trump, that's who. You know who else is a fighter? Most of his supporters. They're real Americans looking to stand up for what's right. They're not burning things down. They're going about it legally, making sure they go through the process to prove it all. And so it doesn't happen again. This is one of those things we got to get rid of. All right. Caucasian Persuasion says first. Oh, you actually weren't first. You were second. Sorry. Oof. Errant Vice says, do you subscribe to the Scion theory that asserts humanity was created by aliens to fulfill a higher purpose? It's an awesome way to frame religion. I have no idea. I've never actually heard about that, but maybe I'll look into it. Carnell says, hey, vegan brother. Happy Friday. I have one question. What whiskey are we drinking tonight? Inquiring minds want to know. You know, I actually don't have any whiskey. I have this one bottle. This is, I don't know if you can see it. It's a Nick Offerman Lagavulin, but I'm never going to open that. That was from a buddy of mine. Shout out to Josh. He actually joined me on my show. It was awesome. He came out and hung out for the weekend a while back. It was great. Great to see him. And yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I am not your buddy guy says, how did you learn to play the guitar? Was there a resource you used, teacher, or did you do it yourself? If you taught yourself, how did you do that? I kind of did all of the above. I remember someone taught me a song that I really liked, Sublime, What I Got, and it's very, very easy to play. It's literally 2 chords. It's D to G and back and forth. The entire song, you know, there's that little solo that I learned on my own on the internet using chords and tabs and figuring out how to do tabs and read tabs and chords and yeah, it's a combination of all. He taught me that one song, and I just learned that song. And then from those chord progressions. When I learned a lot of covers in the beginning of when I started playing guitar, and every cover I would learn like a new chord. And then whenever I learned a new chord, I would make like 10 songs because it would open up, my repertoire of chords that I knew would grow, and then I would be able to make more and more combinations of the different chords and write different songs. And then I learned how to fingerpick and learn classical guitar, and then that opened up everything because all the chords that I knew already, I was able to fingerpick in a different, and it sounded like a completely different song, even though it was the same chords. So I don't know. Persistence, honestly, is the biggest key to learning guitar. Jessica Foster, thank you for that super chat. Appreciate that. Robert Wiles says, have a blessed night and life doing what you love. Thanks for all you do for us, and don't worry about what folks say. I grew up with one leg, so yeah. All right. Yeah, and come on. I think you should know this about me, Robert. I don't worry about what other people say. I do my own thing. I'm proud of who I am, and I will continue doing what I do. Well, all right. Yep. Crash says, how's the new pad, Adam? I absolutely love this place. It is so peaceful. I am surrounded by the woods. I see deer running by, foxes. It's incredible. There's a wild cat that is so cool and really loves me and Nishra. His name's Osiris. Well, she named him Osiris, and it's very fitting. He's kind of like our wild pet, and he's very cool. So, but I love it. I love my studio here. I love having a nice station. I'm really feeling comfortable here, reporting things to you guys. I'm getting into a flow of finding subjects and bringing them out to you guys. So, yeah, I really love it. And you know what? Shout out to Tim, because without Tim, I wouldn't have had this opportunity. A lot of people think that there's some sort of animosity between him and I, and they're wrong, So, I've got nothing but respect for that. Evodio says, Adam, playing the guitar makes me want to say, bring back masculine men. Thank you. Oh, well, all right. I appreciate that. Yeah. I this is my manly voice, obviously. KBTV says, the American Party podcast did a great job explaining how taxes at the lowest level ensures people care more about local elections, and how federal government must come to the states for funding. Better voice for the people. Great job. Interesting. I don't know that podcast, but yeah, taxes. If you don't understand economics or have a really solid grasp on economics, you really shouldn't talk about economics much. And I am just starting to learn how important economics is and an understanding of economics to truly, get what's going on. So, yeah. Glazed Entity says, if you have Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you have purpose. No drugs needed. Getting high on God. Everyone has their path, and there's all, finding a purpose is key. So if that's your purpose, then that's amazing. That's a blessing for you. And not everyone has that ability. And even believers still can fall prey to that. Kevin K says, next round of stimulus, $1,500, but only for those who take the vaccine. No, not a joke. Look up CNBC. Wow, really? Is that what they're trying to add into it? It's ridiculous. Devad says, insurance companies won't pay workers compensation if weed is in your system if you get hurt at work. That's more things that we need to look in if they are going to legalize it, how to make it so that, that can't be a thing. Johnny Gonzalez says, GA governor ordered a signature audit now Arizona in Nevada. Wow. Really? It's going to be crazy. Things are popping out of the woodwork nowadays. It does feel like it's speeding up a little bit, right? 2021's almost here. Dustin Decker says, what's good, Adam? Surprisingly, you still haven't been fact-checked. Oh, wow. This was at 7:12. Oh, man. So I was knee-deep in the Dominion stuff at this point. Wow. I'm now only $200 away from my $2,000 budget for my gaming PC. Ooh, I believe Donald J. Trump will win. Me too. I think he already did win. They just are trying to alter it all to prove that he didn't. But I still remain firm in my belief that I think he won. I think he will have another 4 years. So, and you know what? Why 2000? 1800 is a you can make an incredible gaming PC on 1800. That's how much I built mine for, is about 1800 actually. No, maybe 1900 with my 2070. But 1800, man, you can get a really good system. Build it yourself, and you can get a lot better stuff. So please be building it yourself, Dustin. Not Your Problem says, campaign staffer for Kelly Loeffler dies in a car crash. He was Governor Kemp's daughter's boyfriend. The car went in flames, Michael Hastings style. I know, I saw this. I'm still waiting to hear more about it. Of course, there's a lot of conspiracies about it right now. I don't know too much about it, but I am definitely, I've got my eye on it. Arcadian Twilight says, slave labor, concentration camps, cultural genocides, aggressive expansion, unethical medical experience on humans. The CCP sounds like the Third Reich to me. Yeah, it's frightening. It's frightening what the world is letting them do, and while they're on the UN panel for human rights, it's like, get out of here. Sergeant Hody says, Adam, in this 3-minute video, People's Pundit explained Georgia video and caught election workers loading the same ballots 3 times into counting tabulators. Wow, there's actual video of it. Whoa, I definitely have to see that. I can't click on the link, but I will definitely save it for later, because I absolutely have to see that. That's crazy. Oh, okay. I just clicked over to it, and it's the video of them. It's the video of them doing it at night. But I didn't know that it shows them doing the same ballots over and over again, because it's kind of hard to see from that distance. But I'm gonna definitely get into that, because that's crazy. Black Magic says, if I could super chat you while you were being launched into space, that would be epic. Historically, the high ground gives massive military advantage. That's true, and look at what China's doing. They're trying to make 3 CCP stations is the more way to put it. So, and they're doing it. But man, I can't wait to go to space, and I'll get there. Nico says, Adam, you know the Chinese have many national goals and plan for 100 years, while we squabble in EU and the USA over who's going to bill whom for today. Exactly. Humanity has survived by planning for the future, okay? We have to learn and change our mindset for the future instead of the now. Everyone's so worried about now. Me. Now. It's like, okay, well, what about tomorrow? All right? And I admit myself, I was in my own bubble for most of my life. I did my own thing, worried about myself. I didn't care about the society as a whole. I didn't follow politics. And now I'm finding how important it really is to be a part of society, to be a part of what makes the laws, to understand who's making the laws. And being a part of that system is part of being an American citizen. Part of being on Earth, part of being human is being a part of the community of other humans. All right? It's very important. So hopefully we change that mindset of our youth. Mythos says, it's not illegal to yell fire in a theater, just can't tell someone to start one. Ah, really? It's not? I thought it was illegal to do that. I just can't tell someone to start one. Ah, okay, sure. Mega Executioner says, Section 230 should be a digital translation to Constitution and amendments. Platforms must accept all speech since it's the new town square. Thank you. False info must be dealt with more communication, not automated labels. I agree. Look, you can always block somebody. I don't like what this person's saying. Block. Boom. Suddenly you don't see them anymore. It's that easy. Let everybody regulate what they see, okay? Let them choose whether or not. Let the people decide. Okay, what's wrong with that? The people should decide for themselves for all things, period. No more questions. My goodness. Fade Out 17 says, I love you, Adam. Appreciate you and your perspective. Thank you very much, Fade. That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate that. Fade Out again says, do you live at the Tim compound? I do. I do live here. It's I have my own section in the house. It's kind of it's the in-law suite, and I have my own apartment, and it's fantastic, and I love it. It's the first time actually Nisha and I have our own spot. It does feel like our own spot because I never see anyone else on the other side. I wake up, I make my coffee, and I really start, digging into the news. I sit at this desk most of my day, just reading the news and prepping for the show to bring you guys the news every night. And then that's my schedule. Van says the Salty Army is legion. Shout out to Salty. What up, Salty? He's hanging out behind me. And to the Salty Army, because they're great supporters. Super Dank says they will retroactively fact check it like they did the last video from Freedom Tunes. Did they really? That's embarrassing. Cassia says you should get Anomaly on. I feel like y'all would vibe. Liberty above all laws. F around and find out. God bless. I did have him on. I had Anomaly on the show, Legendary Energy. He's fantastic. We had a great show, great conversation. It was really easy to talk to. I would love to have him on again, actually, and it's a possibility. I mean, he was on. The first was more an interview of who he is, what he's been through. He talks about his life, and he lives out in Jersey and does his thing. So. I would love to have him on again. He's always welcome. I love having conversations. I want to get Bryson Gray back on the show. He's fantastic. I want to get him next time he joins me on the show, too. I got to have a mic ready for his dad because his dad's going to come in and start talking, too. Shout out to Bryson. He's great. He was a great guest. And Anomaly. Both of those guys were fantastic guests. So I really appreciate that. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to play some music now. What time is it? So, all right, I got 12 minutes. I got 12 minutes to play some tunes. First, I'm going to play a song for one of my Discord homies, Nani. This one's for you. You asked, and now you shall receive. I'm actually going to tag Nani right now in my Discord just to make sure I am about to play that song you requested. I literally just typed that up. And put it out there. All right, so hopefully you're still hanging out and watching. So this is A Love Stories Remains. Hello, miss, I'd like to kiss your lovely name. The things I do to get you dancing in the rain. I want a piece, so say you want the same. A love story remains. I know we'll go through some hard times, and I'll always be there if I can. But there's a chance we're not like mine, so this love story may end. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with myself. I'm gonna miss the way you kiss under the rain. All the times you saved me, but that love don't feel the same. I wanted peace, so you wanted me to change. Only connected when you're calling out my name. I know we've been through some hard times. That times has forced us to find ourselves. And honesty is my policy. Yeah, we might be better with someone else. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with myself. Well, come and sit, let's take a trip down memory lane. If I had to choose, baby, I wouldn't change a thing. 'Cause I found peace, so look, you found the same. In the rubble of the remains, a love story's remains. I found a peace of mind. Something you helped me find. I wouldn't change it for anything, but please be honest. Just be honest with yourself. Thank you very much. That was A Love Stories Remains. And that was for Lady Nani. And Lord Draco, I see you over there. I see you. No, I just, if you're in my Discord, you kind of have a little bit of a leg up and a connection to me because, I hang out in my Discord. I got a lot of cool people that hang out in my Discord, and I get a lot of news. A lot of people help me in my Discord talking about, we have an entire channel dedicated just for the election, news about the election, and I go in there and I peruse all the different information that a lot of people that are, in this group, a lot of my followers that, out there right now, you probably have information that I don't know that you'd love to talk to me about. And a lot of the Discord helps me out. So shout out to the Discord. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate my Discord. These guys are fantastic. All right. I am looking in chat to find us Walking With You. All right. I saw Walking With You, so I'm doing that. That is, who said that? Nuclear. I see you, Nuclear. I'm going to play Walking With You. All right. This is Walking With You. How much time do I got? 7 minutes. I could probably play 2 more songs. I took a walk tonight with my love, and all the cats are in the streets. Like us, they're trying to find a way home. Yeah, face life and land up on their feet. Talking about those little things that make you sing and feel alright. A natural high inside, like sunshine and rain. A fresh coffee to start my day. Well, I'm just glad I found my way home with you. I've been walking it so long, but now I'm walking with you. I've been walking it so long, but now I'm walking with you. I've been walking it so long, but now I'm walking with you. I've been walking it so long, but now I'm walking with you. Sun sets along the colonnade. All good dogs in bed are on their way. Like us, they're trying to find a peace of mind. Yeah, face life and its insanities. I'm talking about those little things that make you sing and feel alright. A natural high inside, like sunshine and rain. Fresh coffee to start my day. Well, I'm just glad I found my way home with you. I've been walking it so long, but now I'm walking with you. I've been walking it so long. I've been walking it so long, but now I'm walking with you. And I felt it from the start, a connection from the start. I've been walking it so long, now I'm walking with you. I've been walking it so long, now I'm walking with you. Bop-de-bam, bop-de-bam, de-bam, bop-de-bam, 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 bop-de-bam. I've been walking it so long, now I'm walking with you. Woo! All right, I got time for one more song. I got Noni super chatted again, dancing a little bit. Thanks for that. Doc Locke says, a buddy is working on a book where the intergalactic government quarantined Earth for 1,000 years due to media's lies and critical race theory. Thoughts? Frightening. Cyber Reset says, dice roll. Winner decides the next song. I will roll the die and we will decide there. Rhonda Griffin says, where can we buy your music to download it? I don't have it anywhere, Rhonda. Thank you for that question. I am absolutely working on it. I have all of my songbooks here. I don't know if you know them. This is all of my songbooks. I'm going through them, finding all these songs from the past. Is really fantastic. But I'm definitely working on recording them and getting them out there, so I appreciate that. I'm going to play one last song. I rolled the die. I don't see any numbers in the chat. You guys are are chatting. Oh, here comes the numbers. Here comes the numbers. Let's see if I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna play freely. I feel the vibe to play freely. It was 6. John Baert got it. Congratulations, John. You won absolutely nothing. You win the dice game. All right. Life sucks sometimes, but when you realize it's not so bad, just move along. What choice do you have? You choose where your mind spends all its time. When it all comes freely, it's wonderful. Let it all come crashing like the ocean tide. Climb up to the top of the mountainside and scream it out. Don't hold it inside. When you find a smile, naturally, that's the magic, don't forget it. It'll help you see. In the dark, in the night, when you're trying to find your way and you've lost your sight. When it all comes freely, it's wonderful. Let it all come crashing like the ocean tide. Climb up to the top of the mountainside and scream it out. Don't hold it inside. When it all comes freely, it's wonderful. Let it all come crashing like the ocean tide. Climb up to the top of the mountainside and scream it out. Don't hold it inside. All right, I could keep playing that end for a long time, but it is 8 o'clock. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with me tonight. You guys are fantastic. Hope you have a great weekend. You guys are the best. I will see you next time, Monday night, 6:30, same time. I'm going to have a couple awesome guests next week. I'm not going to announce who they are yet, but I'm excited, and I will see you then. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night.
Please smash the like button for Adamcast IRL. Coming to you live every night, Monday through Fridays, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time.